Right, 3 tips to improve your singing in less than 10 minutes a day. So if you want to learn how to sing like this, I'm no longer a slave to fear, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. It's really just a few simple, basic foundations that you need to learn to focus on that any beginner can take literally as little as 10 minutes a day working on and notice an immediate difference in your voice. Okay, so the way the voice and the body works is that you breathe in air, and that is what allows you and gives you the power to be able to sing. Okay, most people don't have good quality, proper breath support, because of bad posture and just other bad habits that we've picked up over the years. So one really great exercise to combat this is what I call the breath squeeze. So pretty much take both your hands and put them on that little fleshy part of your body here. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to try to make it to where not the flexing of our muscles, I repeat, not flexing your muscles, like we're not trying to flex here, show off, but the reaction of the inhalation of air causing this little fleshy part that you're squeezing, causing that to make your stomach expand and to push your fingers away. So it should look a little something like this. Squeeze. You'll notice how my stomach here is expanding. Like I said, it should feel nice and relaxed and open, kind of like you're making a balloon get bigger. It's going to be a little bit hard to grasp at first, but what we're going to do is basically you're going to do 3 sets of 10 of those every single day, and you're going to approach each set in a slightly different way. So for the first one, we're going to do it basically just nice and normal. So we're going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and that's how you're going to approach the first set. Second set, you're going to do that same exercise, but what we're going to do is we're going to essentially bend over backwards. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you to bend over backwards for me here. So it's really simple. So you're going to do it like this. What we're doing here is we're stretching out the lungs, and we're getting them used to getting this feeling of expansion in multiple different areas. So we're going to squeeze, bend over backwards, and still get that same air. You might notice your abs will naturally just tighten up a little bit, but that's fine. Still going to get that air out. Okay? And we're not going to do the full 10 sets this time just for the sake of this video, but we're going to do a couple, and then we're going to move on to the third way that you're going to do the third set, and then that'll get you a good feel for how the whole exercise goes. So, 1, 2, 3, and also too, you might feel your muscles spasm and shake a little bit. Just that's perfectly fine. Just try your best to keep your balance when bending backwards. Okay, now for the third set, we're going to do here is we're going to bend down forwards. So squeeze this little part and bend down. And this one's going to be a little bit easier because this is a very relaxed state that we're going to get the breath support in. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. Like I said, if you didn't get any of that, feel free to rewind the video and take a look at how my technique was. On that third one there at the bending down, that's where most of you should have felt like a drastic difference, because you're essentially almost forcing your body and your lungs to have that nice freedom and that open expansion. Okay, and the second exercise is what's known as an exhaled breath hold. So this one's going to be a little bit on the difficult side, but with practice and effort, you guys can really get through this, and it's going to make a drastic change in your voice. It's really going to relax you, and it's also going to energize you and just open up your voice for awesome free singing. Okay, so what we're going to do is, like it states, we're going to exhale our breath, and we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Okay, so exhale like. Then you're going to hold it like this. Again, for the people at home, what we're going to do is you're going to pause this video and just set yourself a timer for 30 seconds, all right? So it would go like this. So I'm going to show you one more time. So exhale every single bit of air that you have that's in you. Okay, and like I said, you got to push yourself to hold it a little bit longer than you can. If you notice, I was shaking around a little bit here and there. What I was doing is I was reminding the rest of my body that, hey, you relax. You can relax. Like, you're not going to die. You're not going to kill yourself. Because the human body actually can go anywhere between, I believe it's like 15 or 20 minutes solid without air before it causes any type of damage. But, your brain is trying to trick you, and that's why you're going to feel all this tension, and, you're going to feel like, oh, I'm suffocating. But that shaking around and moving, that's just to remind your body you need to get grounded, centered, and focused. And, if you guys do that right, you're going to notice a nice relaxation coming into your body, and it's just going to give you a whole lot more freedom going down here. Okay, so that's the second exercise. And the third exercise we're going to do here is real simple. It's a nice, simple, basic hum, but it's going to be slightly different than what you've probably learned from most other voice teachers, and it's going to exercise your chords in a very unique way. All right, for this next exercise, this is what I call the sustained hum. I'm sure those of you who've taken voice lessons before, your voice teacher probably had you do, some type of humming type exercise. What this really does, it helps build the stamina for singing, and it helps you build your endurance. This is sort of the equivalent of, going on a nice little jog to warm up the body. It's because what it does is it gets the vocal cords used to moving so that you can activate the other parts of your voice for when you're trying to go into singing a song. Okay, so basically the way that it works is we're going to start out with a nice little hum, but with the proper placement. I'm sure a lot of you probably hum like this, like, which is a nice regular face. But the actual proper placement for a hum is a smile, like this. Because when you smile, you're going to notice you're going to feel a whole lot more resonance and a whole lot more buzzing, and that's basically the vocal energy, that vocal resonant power that's really going to help your body to grow. Because if you don't do this with the proper placement, you're probably only going to get about half the effectiveness that you normally would get. Okay? And so we're going to take that proper placement of a hum, and we're going to do it on just a basic regular major scale. But unlike most warm-ups, we're going to go up and down this major scale 6 times, which, for some of you, that's going to be a little bit hard, and you're going to start to run out of breath, and you're not going to be able to last, but that's perfectly fine. The goal here is to stretch out your chords to where you're going to be running out of air to get your body used to saying, I need to get better breath management. Okay, so it's going to look a little something like this. So notice, I got a little bit, quieter there because I was running out of air. And what that is doing is that's getting your body used to having that resonance over the sustained phrase that you would be singing when going into a song. So like I said, we're stretching out our body because the voice is just like any other muscle. For you to get results in the gym, you got to stretch out your muscles. You got to push them past their limits. And the same goes for singing. Okay? So we're going to start here. Right at C, about 2 C's below middle C. And girls, we're going to have you start down a little bit up here. So. One other thing to keep in mind too is you're going up and through this. As you start to feel a little bit more of that tension come and parts of your body squeeze, you got to remember you got to relax. So relax into going up the other round of the scale. And that's really going to give you more freedom. That's going to help to activate the other parts of your voice to be able to sing properly. Another thing to keep in mind too is that as we're going higher, we're using less air because it takes less air to hit the higher notes and more air actually to hit the lower notes. I know that's very contrary to most of what most other people have told you about singing. Flip up over to your falsetto, guys, and for girls that would be known as your flute voice. also too, as you go higher, the smile, it does not need to be as wide. It actually, it's going to be really, really hard for you to do that wide of a smile. So it can be a little more of a smirk as you're getting higher. It's like, versus when you're going out here. So. All right, so that was the end of the exercise. You were only for the sake of time, we're just going up the scale. Feel free, at home if you have a piano, or just download like a piano app, go down the scale. That's also too going to help you out a lot too. Just go one note at a time, like. Like so, just one note at a time, up and down that scale. And like I said, you practice those things, and it's basically as little as 10 minutes a day. That's really going to bring you a drastic difference in your singing.